again, Wired fam. How's everybody doing this evening? It is March the 24th, Wednesday evening at 9 o'clock Eastern time. How's everybody doing this evening? Hope you guys are doing well. This is going to be an interesting show, guys. I can promise you that. I can promise you that it is going to get real. But it's going to be good. It's going to be a good show. It's going to be very interesting. And I'm praying right now that I can make it through the whole thing. So we're going to do our best to get through it. I appreciate you guys for being on. I appreciate you guys for watching. And we're going to talk some crappie fishing, among other things, tonight. Okay? Man, this week has been a whirlwind. I hope your week has been blessed, has been great. I hope everybody has had a really, really good week. Wired has had a whirlwind. So, we're going to talk about a little bit of it tonight. We're going to talk about the Watts Bar tournament. If you guys have not seen that yet, we did actually pull out the W at Watts Bar. So that was really good. I think we may have locked in Angler of the Year. I was doing some quick math today, trying to figure out if we finish dead last the Classic, what's that going to do to us, and are we going to still pull it out, and so on and so forth. So trying to figure all that stuff out. You know us anglers, attention to detail, right? So anyway, it's going to be a very good show for you guys. I'm looking forward to it. If you're on tonight, don't forget, drop me a line, tell me hello. Sorry. When you get on tonight, drop me a hello. Let me know where you're from. I always like to say hello back to everybody. And if you have any questions, comments, or anything in between, put it over there in the comment section, and I'll try to get to it before the end of the evening, okay? Yeah, so, let's see. Who all's on tonight? A little scatterbrained tonight, guys. I'm sorry. Let's see who's on. David Smith has a question right off the rip. What is up, David? How many amp batteries do you have on your boat? I'm assuming that's amped batteries or batteries in general. So amped outdoors batteries, I have one for my live scope unit. And then everything else is powered by my starting battery, which is a lead acid battery. My amped battery is a lithium, by the way, 30 amp hour lithium from Amped Outdoors that runs my live scope. But then I have lead acid battery for my starting battery, and I run all my electronics off of it, my other electronics. And then I have a 24 volt Minn Kota Ultrex, so I have two batteries for it. So technically I have 4 batteries on the boat, but if you're talking amped batteries, it's just the one, buddy. Where's my banner at real quick? It is MIA. All right, right down there below, guys. Crappie Cove, 10% off at Crappie Cove. You can use the discount code on the website now, guys, okay? So if you go to www.crappiecove.com, you can now use the wired discount online. Also, you can feel free to call the store, talk to Misty. That is your Crappie Cove girl, and she will hook you up. You can use the discount code there as well. So if you guys would take advantage of Crappie Cove and the discount that they offer you guys on their products. So they have all the best stuff. They've got bonehead tackle, crappie magnets, ACC crappie sticks. They've got it all, guys. Rods, reels, tackle, line. They've got it all. So check them out. They've got a new website up. Check it out too, crappiecove.com. The new website is up too. So Bonehead Tackle, 15% off Bonehead Tackle with Crappie 2021 at boneheadtackle.com. And then as always, guys, if you're out there and you're looking for a pole for your live scope system and you like the pole that I fish with, that is a Fishing Specialties pole. Mike at Fishing Specialties is who you can talk to if you give them a call or order on their website. And the discount code there, 10% off with Fishing Specialties, is also Wired. Okay, guys? So Wired gets you 10% at Fishing Specialties and Crappie Cove. All right, guys? So Where were we? Saying hello to everybody. So David had a question right off the rip. I got that one. Thank you, David, for the question. I appreciate it. Larry Merrick, hello, hello. He says, congrats on the win. Looks like 13 pounds ahead of second place angler of the year. 13 pounds, 13 points ahead, I think is correct. So we're 13 points ahead of second place for angler of the year right now. But like I said, we're trying our best to wrap that up for the end of the year. Hopefully we will. I'd love to win that this season. Love to win that for you guys. So hopefully we'll be able to win that one. Josh Sanders says, good evening from Chattanooga. Good evening, Josh. I talked to Josh a little earlier. Josh, as we go through tonight, don't get too upset with me. Josh actually asked me what we were going to talk about tonight, but it's just don't get upset with me, Josh. We're going to talk about a couple different things tonight, okay? Heidi Clark from Idaho. What's going on, Heidi? How's it going? Glad you are here. Heidi says, congrats on the win, Matt. Thank you very much. It was a hard-earned win. I'll tell you that right now. We're going to get into that here in just a little bit. So, Stephen, hello, from Holly Springs, North Carolina. Ashley Coffee, what's up, champ? Good evening, Wired fam. Mike S. says, congrats. Thank you, Mike. Misty Martin, she says, hello, crappie people. So, hello, Misties. Somebody need to call yous. Let's see. Mark from, where'd you go, Mark? There you are, Pine Mills, Texas. The crappie are biting on Cato Lake, and it's nice to see you on here tonight. It's nice to see you as well, Mark. I appreciate you joining us. I'm glad those fish are biting, buddy, and they are going to keep biting. All right. Josh Sanders, thank you so much, Josh, for the super chat. Just so you lose your place and can explain what a super chat is. I'll never be upset. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate you very much, buddy. Thanks for making me lose my place. But yeah, guys, if you don't know what a super chat is, that's a way for you guys to give back to this channel to help keep me on the water and help keep me making great content for you guys. You hear it from every YouTuber throughout all of YouTube. You guys, there's a lot of carryover between live shows, that is, and you hear it from everybody. It costs a lot of money to make videos. It really does. A lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of sacrifice from family. I'll tell you right now, my wife sacrifices a lot so that I can do this for you guys. I'm telling you, because I work a full-time job Monday through Friday, and I'm out there all weekend for you guys. So it's a lot. It really is. She knows I have a dream and I have a passion, and she knows I love to help you guys, and she allows me to do that because trust me, if two aren't working together, it takes two to get along. It takes one not to get along, right? So I appreciate her for that, and I appreciate my boys for doing everything that they do to support me as well. So thank you, Josh. I appreciate you, and I appreciate your super chat. Guys, if you want to give a super chat like Josh did, right down below your comment section, there's a little dollar symbol. You can click on that. YouTube will walk you through how to give a super chat. You will get a receipt from YouTube on your super chat. They'll send that to your email, and you guys can call it a donation if you want to. But no, it's that's how you give a super chat, guys. It's right down below your comment section, okay? Thank you, Josh. I appreciate you, buddy. And yeah, I lost my spot. Thanks. All right, let's see who else we got on. Jackie Jordan. Hey, Misty, got any amp batteries? Jackie wants to know if you got any amp batteries, Misty. Hello from Sam Rayburn in East Texas. Man, I've got some stories on Sam Rayburn. So I used to bass fish that lake because I lived in Southeast Texas and lived near Sam Rayburn. Used to bass fish that lake when I was younger, and a red crawl bomber would absolutely wear fish out around boat docks. I mean, absolutely wear them out. I would catch some really nice bass, mostly marinas, mostly throwing marinas, but Yeah, we used to go up there when I was a kid. Well, when I was younger, and I loved throwing that red craw bomber. I mean, I absolutely loved it. So anyway, got a lot of memories on Sam Rayburn, great lake, and I remember a lot of grass back then. I don't know if there's still grass there or not, but I remember a lot of grass. It seems like, and catching bass out of grass with a zipper worm. So been there, done that. Time to crappie fish that lake. Heath McDaniel says, good evening. Good evening, Heath. Joseph Thaxton says, hey from Macon, Georgia. Hello, hello. Steven says, smash the like button. Yeah, guys, don't forget, smash that like button for me. What that does is that lets everybody know that you like the content you're watching. It's good content. So you smash that like button, it helps out, especially with YouTube and the algorithms and the like percentage and the dislike percentage, all that good stuff that is above my head. So smash that like button, please. D-Car says, hit that like button. Thank you, D-Car. Appreciate you, buddy. Welcome. Crappie Kev, what's going on? From Ashburn, Virginia. Charles says, how much for your old trolling motor? Actually, I already sold it, but thank you, Charles, for the question. I did sell my old trolling motor. Larry Merrick. Thank you, Larry, for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate it very much. It's a blessing to me, and I thank you for it. Before the real topic of the night, longline trolling 1/16 jigs. How do I gauge how deep they are? That's the beauty of longline trolling, Larry, is there's always that unknown there, a little. It has a lot to do. Look, I could get really deep into this. Are you trolling with the current? Are you trolling against current? Are you trolling against the wind, with the wind? That's all going to affect your jigs, okay? What I can tell you is if you're fishing 2 16th-ounce jigs and you're making a good solid cast behind the boat, 0.8 mile an hour, you're probably going to be running somewhere around 11 feet, 12 feet. And then if you bump it up to 1.2 mile an hour, you're probably going to get up there in that 7-8 feet. Okay. So and that's from my knowledge and from longline trolling as much as I have. One way you can always figure out how deep your baits are running on a given day with the cast that you're making is always head for shallow water. So as you head for shallow water, you can watch your jigs and you'll see your rods start bouncing as your jigs start contacting the bottom. And then, you can look down at your depth finder and you say, okay, I'm in 8 feet of water. They're running 8 feet. There's no real exact science to it. And like I said, if you're running with the current, they're going to run a little deeper because the current is going to push them down. If you're running against the current and the current's hitting them in the face, your jig in the face, it's going to pick them up. So there's always different variables that are going to change the way those jigs run in the water. But for the most part, 2 16th-ounce jigs is going to run somewhere between 7 and 12 feet, given your speed. Okay. Very good question. And thank you for the super chat again. I appreciate it. All right, Solomon, I don't know if I said hello to you, but if I didn't, hello, Solomon from Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina. Matthew Kofelt, what up, Wired fam? What up, Matthew? I'm partial to that name for some reason. Danny Rock says, congrats on the win, Matt. LaGrange, Georgia here. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate it. It was a hard-fought win, that's for sure. Lot of really good anglers fishing with the club, and it was hard-fought. So we were blessed to win. We'll talk about that here just a little bit. All right, Dean Cook from Franklin, North Carolina. Hello. Jimmy Pratt says, hello. Chris Jackson, are they going to bring that grasshopper color back? All right. Pause. We're going to hit the pause button right here. Sorry. The grasshopper stump bug. So the answer to everyone's question on the grasshopper stump bug is yes. we have been successful in getting another run of grasshopper stump bugs. It was like pulling teeth from a really large grizzly bear, but we were successful in getting another run made. So when they come out, we'll let everybody know. Before everybody starts asking when they're coming, right now the ETA on those is TBD, to be determined. So once they get ready to produce those, or once those hit production, I will let everybody know. But to answer the question, yes, there are pumpkin and chartreuse stump bugs coming. And no, we don't know when, but they are scheduled and going to be put into production. Okay, that's all I know at this time. But yes, to answer your question, they are coming. D-Car says hello. Hello, D-Car. Johnny Coots from Ringgold, Georgia. William C. William, I have been meaning to call you back, sir. I have your information, and I have looked at your email 4 times today, or not today, but this week. I just haven't had it in me this week. I'm sorry. I know that's an unacceptable answer, but we're going to get into more of that here in a little bit. It's been a whirlwind of a week, and I have not had a chance to call you back when I was available. Okay. So I will call you, William. And please accept my apology, but I hadn't had that opportunity yet. Sid Lewis says, hey, Matt, Madison, Mississippi. Hello, hello. I got a super chat. Danny Rock, thank you for the super chat, Danny. I appreciate you very much. That is a blessing to me and to this channel, and I thank you for it, buddy. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Believe I got Sid Lewis, but we'll say hey again, Madison, Mississippi. Heath, to answer your question, yes, I picked them up. Trying them, I have not yet, but I will. I have picked them up, not tried them yet. Tyler Key, what's going on, Tyler? Good evening, good evening. Jackie Jordan says, hey, Matt, going to set up portable live scope and 93 SV. Size amp battery do I need? What size amp battery do I need? If you're setting it up portable and you're going to use the Summit shuttle, Summit makes a shuttle. I know the 30 amp hour battery fits in it really well. So I don't know. I think amp changed the size of the 30 amp hour. So I might be wrong. But I think you should be fine to put any amp battery in it, to be honest, because I think there's plenty of room down there for you to do so. Blake, what's up, buddy? Hope you're doing better today. Thank you, Blake. I appreciate it, buddy. We're gonna talk about it a little tonight. I'm gonna try anyway. It's literally sitting here staring me in the face right now, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. But yeah. Thank you, Blake, for reaching out. I appreciate it, and thank you for the comment. And welcome, Blake. Everybody say, hey, Blake. All right. Robert Love says, hello, all. Hello, Robert. Jody Gosaway, what's up, Matt? What's up, Jody? Pleasure to see you guys out there Saturday, by the way, Jody. Hope you guys come back. It was really, really great to see you guys. So we'll see you next time, right? Troy Caswell from Kentucky, what's going on, buddy? Charlie from Sevierville, hello, hello. Solomon says, Matt, that was a well-used sump bug in your picture. It really was. We're going to talk about that again, or we're going to talk about that too tonight. Got a lot to talk about, so I'm going to try to get through some of this right here, guys, and then we'll start into it. The Reef Robber, hey, from Oregon. Hello. David Smith says, take out. Grant Bailey, how goes it, Matt? And how you liking the old tracks? I'm loving it, Grant. Absolutely loving it. I've only got to use it one time, but I'm loving it the one time I got to use it. Well, 2 times. Sorry. I used it twice. But I love it. Absolutely love it. It's a blessing to have, and it makes life a lot easier. It's just a lot more reactive than the Tarova. The Tarova, the foot pedal, it's an electric steer, and you put your foot on it, and you got to wait for it to go, and then hit the pedal. So it's a lot faster, a lot more reactive, and it makes life a little easier. So I do love it. Chad Hillard says, good evening, Matt. Checking in from East Texas. Good evening. Jimmy, we're going to get into that here in just a minute. I'm not going to put that up. We'll come back to Jimmy. Sid Lewis says, have you got any of the Bonfire Glow from Bonehead yet? No, I do not, because Bonehead is stationed in Texas, and that bait was designed for Texas lakes. Orange is just not the best color in East Tennessee. Our lakes are clear. Those really bright, ornate colors just scare fish off up here. So I have not tried it yet. I'm sure it is a wonderful bait. If you fish dingier, dirtier water, I'm sure it's a fire bait. But for up here, it's probably not the go-to for me, okay? Different regions or different colors, different baits. That one was designed for down there, I think, for sure. So I will get some and try them, but I haven't yet. I just hadn't jumped on it. John, hey, Matt from North Carolina. Hello, John. Slab Buster, what's up? Slab Buster says hello all. He also said hello to Blake. Tyler, I'll be right back. Jody says, yes, we're definitely coming back. It's just been rough this past year. Well, I know all about rough, Jody, and I'll say a prayer for you guys. And hopefully by the end of the night, you guys will say a prayer for me as well. So I know all about it, Jody, and I apologize, but I will say a prayer for you guys. Question, are you casting to the crappie more than vertical jigging? The crappie gets super pressured here and don't like the boat. Let me come back to that too, Tyler, okay? Let me get through a couple more of these hellos. I think we're all through. Slabbuster says he's going to get some of the bonfire color baits, fishes a Muddy River and Coosa River. Yeah, absolutely. The bonfire was made for Lake Palestine, Texas, 10 minutes from my house. Yeah, it really was, to be honest. So, all right, so let's go back up here. Let's talk about Watts Bar. I've got 2 questions that play right into what happened at Watts Bar for us. So I want to talk Watts Bar first. We'll get into some other stuff later tonight. Like I said, that I may not be able to get through. I don't know. We're going to try, but I need to talk about it with you guys. So stay tuned. We'll get to some of that here in a little bit, but let's talk about Watts Bar first, okay? Obviously, if you have not seen that, we were successful in winning Watts Bar Lake with East Tennessee Crappie Club. We had 13.01 with our largest 7 fish. Second place was just under 11 pounds, I do believe, somewhere right in there. I'd have to look it up again to remember. I guess I probably should. So all right. So we had 1301 and second place had 1093. So very successful tournament. We actually won big fish as well by 1/100th of a pound. We had a 2.11 pound crappie. that big female with eggs that won big fish. So we actually won the tournament and won the big fish pot, which was really good, really cool to do. And we have been beat this year about 3 different times by 1/100th ourselves on a big fish. So it has been a year of 1/100th taking the big fish. So we're successful in winning the tournament and big fish. Super excited, super proud, super happy to win that. That is a big fish lake. I love that lake, and it always turns out good weights. Little early this year. Normally, end of March, they're really on brush, starting to move in, and that just wasn't the case in this tournament. So we actually fished. We had a game plan, okay, which we normally do. Normally, my partner and I, we talk about the weather, we talk about the conditions, we talk about the pressures, we talk about, what we've seen pre-fishing, we talk about, what areas of the lake are fishing better. And then we always have a game plan as to what area we're going to go to and what we're going to do. And we always have a plan A and a plan B, okay? So our plan A was to run brush just like we normally do, run brush, run and gun, go as fast as we can, hit as many piles as we can, hope to pick up a couple good fish on one pile and then a couple good ones on another, and so on and so forth. That did not pan out. I mean, it was like bright lights in our face that morning when we hit what we thought was going to be one of our better spots, and it was just desolate, right? There was just nothing there. We felt like it was going to be plan B. So we kept running plan A. We went to a couple more spots. Plan A again was running brush as much as we could. Plan B was the chain in the back of the boat, because we felt like if we couldn't find them, we looked at brush for weeks pre-fishing. When we had the opportunity to go, we looked at brush, just very few fish, and the fish that were there were small. So we actually talked about fishing open water in the mouths of spawning bays, and just out in just open water in spawning bays, or what we knew was a transition area to a spawning bay. Just trying to find individual fish that were suspended with live scope. So that was kind of plan B. And we put a chain in the back of the boat because we felt like if we had to go with the wind, we could drag a chain and maybe have a few more opportunities to cast to some of those fish. But if we couldn't, then if we could go into the wind, that was preferred if we had to do that. So I think it was probably the third or fourth pile we went to. We were actually successful in catching a couple nice fish off of a pile. And when we caught the second fish off that pile, we were getting that fish in the live well. The boat kind of floated off the pile, and I got up on the deck and I said, "Hey," I said, "there's a big fish on the screen." And I said, "I'm going to cast to it, see if I can catch it." And I cast it out to it, and that jig fell right in front of that fish, and that fish just whacked it. Waxed it. It was night and day difference between what we were doing on brush. So when we found the fish on brush, they were very timid, very reluctant to bite. Just didn't want to play the script, right? So when that fish reacted like that and hit that jig and just annihilated it, really, I'm surprised the fish didn't come up out of the lake, because he was 4 foot deep and he came up 2 feet to get the jig. He wasn't more than 1.5 foot or 2 foot under the water when he hit it, or she hit it. And it was one of the fish we weighed in, and it may have actually been the biggest of the day. I don't remember. One of the biggest fish of the day. We had a couple over 2 pounds, and I think that was one of them. So anyway, from that moment forward, we realized we were going to have to fish open water. Fish those big bay areas where those females are just sitting there waiting, okay? And they're not unstructured yet, because black crappie will spawn on hard bottoms and in grass. That's what they prefer. Now, They'll spawn on brush too, don't get me wrong, but black crappie like hard bottom gravels, things like that, and I got the hiccups, and grass. And white crappie prefer wood. They prefer to spawn on wood. So the white and Watts Bar is majority white crappie. There are black crappie in it, but it's majority of whites. And we knew that they weren't on wood yet, right? We knew they weren't on shallow wood. We had caught some fish in shallow on structure, but not consistently. Not what we needed to win, obviously, what we felt we needed. So we decided when that happened to fish that open water. And Jimmy, to answer your question, because Jimmy asked this, Matt, when you sniper fish or snipe fish, that's what they call fishing in open water with live scope, is just seeing a fish and sniping it. Do you change anything on your Garmin setup? So to answer your question, Jimmy, yes. The Garmin live scope settings that I use, you guys know I like to stay at 25 to 30 feet when I'm fishing brush piles. I like to stay 2 foot below my depth, so I get just a little bit of bottom so I can see the bottom of the lake. Same thing on the bottom. I like to be 2 foot below. But as far as my forward range, Jimmy, I'm looking out there at 40 or 50 feet. The reason I'm looking out there at 40 or 50 is because for our lakes, they're clear water lakes. Now, you see these guys on YouTube and you see these guys on Crappie Masters and you see these guys down at Grenada. They're fishing this absolutely extremely muddy water. It looks like chocolate milk. And some of you Texas guys probably know what I'm talking about. You Louisiana guys probably do. Those muddy water impoundments, you can get right up on fish. You can get 10 feet from fish and put a jig right down in front of their face, and you can pull fish up left and right. You can't do that in East Tennessee, telling you. Not when the water's warming up. Now, in the winter, you might get away with it because those fish are extremely lethargic in the winter. But right now, with that water warming up, you cannot get away with 10 feet, 15 feet from a fish unless you're drifting with the wind, and it's extremely hard to fish this way in or with the wind. You really need to fish into the wind to be able to control the boat well. If we got within 30 foot of a fish and spun the trolling motor, not turned it on, not talking about the propeller, if you spun the head of the trolling motor, okay, within 30 feet of a fish, it was gone. Absolutely gone every time. We did it 35 times before we realized you can't touch the trolling motor at all. I mean, I dropped a net in the bottom of the boat one time and it spooked the fish off. So you really cannot get within 30 feet of those fish in clear water and do anything that makes any noise because they will leave. When they're shallow as they were. So we were fishing fish anywhere from 4 foot down to 8 foot down is what we were catching our fish in. Okay. You guys know I threw the grasshopper stump bug. I threw that grasshopper stump bug all day. I threw the same jig all day because I never lost it. Literally threw the same jig all day. If you guys have not seen my post on that, that is the actual stump bug that I threw in the tournament. I took a picture of it because it literally still looks new. Now it's got some what I call crappie rash on it from the fish's mouth. But that stump bug, pumpkin and chartreuse, okay, that grasshopper stump bug is literally what I threw the entire tournament. That one jig right there. I wish I could get, there it is. So that one jig is what I threw the entire tournament on a 16th ounce head. I threw it 1/8 ounce a couple times, a black and chartreuse one, to get it down to fish that were deeper a little bit quicker. But I think I caught one fish on it and I put it back up. It seemed like that 1/8 ounce hitting the water would scare the fish. That 1/8 ounce hitting the top of the lake would literally scare fish off. So I had to go back to a 16th to quit spooking fish. I mean, they were that skittish. And you had to throw 10 feet past the fish because if you threw right on top of them, they were gone. They were not having it. It was incredible to watch. We don't typically fish that way, but did in the tournament because we put a pattern together, we saw it, and we just kept rolling with it. So it was very good, very hard to fish that way, but it was fun. It really was. So Jimmy, that answers your question. And then I saw another question down here from Tyler Klein. Are you casting to the crappie more than vertical jigging? So that specific day we were casting, and most of the time I cast a fish. Tyler, I do vertical jig. Once I have fished a pile and caught fish out of it and they slow down, if I know there's more fish in that pile, if they're deep in it, I'll move over top of them and vertical jig them. But for the most part, I cast or pitch a brush pile. Okay. And yes, if they're super pressured and they don't like a boat, I would cast to them for sure. John says blue ice has been fire for him the last couple of days. Blue ice is a good color. Sid Lewis says that's our lakes in Mississippi. Muddy. Dr. Jack says, sup, Matt? What's up, Dr. Jack? Howdy from Arkansas. Did you get your truck fixed? Larry, thank you for asking. So that's one of the whirlwinds from this week. I did get the truck back, got it back today. That was I guess a silver lining. Today they called and said, your truck's fixed. We got a new computer in it, and it was the computer, so they say. The check engine light hadn't come back on, so they rather think it shorted out when they cut my wires, or when we started the truck to get it on the rollback, the wires touched and shorted it out that way. Somehow or another, the computer fried. So they had to put a new computer in my truck. But she's back. She's fixed. She's out in the driveway. So that's a positive. And I appreciate you for asking. Thank you. Chris Carter says, late but here. Better late than never, my friend. I'm glad you're with us. Let's see. All right. Real quick, because I feel like I can talk about it right now. Let's talk about the bad news for this week. The bad news that I'll share with you guys. Okay. I thought I was ready. Look, I'm a lot of things. Yes, I'm a retired Marine, but I'm telling you right now, there's some things that you just don't. There's just some things that are a struggle. Okay. So bear with me. We're going to get through it. We're going to get through this. And then we're going to get back on topic because we got a lot of good stuff to talk about after the tournament. And I'd say you guys probably have some questions about the tournament. And if you do, we'll get to those too. But I guess I'll show you guys a picture. So as you guys know, let me see if I can share my screen with you guys. As you guys know, because it's happened on here before, and if you've watched any of my episodes, you've probably seen him on there before. Let's see here. All right, you guys see me. So if you've watched any of my stuff before, this is what I've got going on this evening. So Rust Dog had to be put down this week. He, as you guys know, has had seizures that have gotten worse, and as his seizures got worse, he got a little aggressive. He did not want anybody messing with him outside of me. Um, all right. So if I wasn't at home, he would growl at my kids. He chased my wife through the house one day. Um, it just got progressively worse. So I had to take him and put him down. So it's tough. And as you guys know, he always sits in here in my office. And it was tough. We almost did the live from the kitchen today. So sorry. But he's in a better place. Whew. Come on, Matt. He's in a better place, and he doesn't have to suffer anymore. So he'll be all right. So. All right. So it's hard. We're going to talk about something else for a minute, and then we'll come back. All right? Everybody good with that? All right. I'm going to read y'all's comments in a minute. If I read them right now, I'm going to have to stop again. All right. I'm sure you guys are telling me all kinds of great things, and I appreciate it. But we're going to talk about crappie. All right. So one other thing that happened, and I will come back to those comments, I promise. One other thing that happened at the tournament. I pulled a Chris Gill, and I broke me a rod. So if you have cleats on your boat, okay, don't let your rods get underneath your cleats. Because when your rods get under your cleats and you reach down and you pick them up, you break rods in two. So that was one bad thing, I guess, that happened at the tournament. They happen in threes. That's so I hear. Bad stuff happens in threes. So there's 1 and 2. Let's hope there's not a 3. So anyway, I did break a rod, but hey, that was my fault. Big stupid. So there you go. Clint Mayer, hello. Chris, thank you. Yeah, guys, it's tough. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate it very much. It is tough. Um, he was a good fishing buddy, and he'll be missed. He'll be missed for sure. Um, you know, but like I said, it once they start showing that aggression, it doesn't get any better. And he progressively was getting worse. And it's the craziest thing in the world. It really is, because he could be a devil dog. I mean, just a absolute terror, to the point where my wife would have to put him in my office and lock him in here. And he just lay in his bed in my office until I got home. And then the minute I walked through the door, he was jumping up and down at the door, just wanting out to love on me. And it was like he was fine. I mean, it was just like he was his own self. But the minute that I left, it was right back to devil dog, and it just got bad. And it got to the point where he did growl at me a few times, but he just got way too aggressive. To have him in the house with kids was bad. And he had a really bad seizure, a week or a week and a half ago. He had a really bad seizure. Normally they'd only last about 30 seconds or 45 seconds, and this one lasted minutes. And it just changed it. It was just awful. So anyway, normally I could just pick him up and just scoop him up and hold him and just love on him until, he just kind of popped back and was like, "Hey, Dad, what's up?" This one he never really did come out of. So it was tough. And like I said, he'll be missed. And I'll probably pull together some video, because I've got a lot of video of him. So I'll probably pull together some video and do an RIP video for him and put that out. So anyway, thank y'all for just letting me. I really haven't. My wife was actually a little worried about me yesterday. So but good news, he'll be home tomorrow. So they're doing paw prints and doing the whole cremation thing. So he'll be back. No worries. D-Car, thank you, buddy. I appreciate the super chat. He says, "New ACC on me. Better days will come." Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. They will. Golly, I feel like a blubbering idiot at the moment. But hey, that's one thing I've learned is family is all you got, and that dog was family. So, thank you, D-Car. I appreciate it, buddy. I appreciate it. I'll get that ACC on you. I appreciate you very much, and thank you so much for the super chat. It's a blessing, and I appreciate it. All right. Thank y'all again for all the sorries. I'm not going to read them all because I will probably not make it through them all. But I promise you I see them. And thank you very much to everyone. Steve, Clint, Joseph, I appreciate it. Slab Buster, thank you. Slab Buster says, "That's why I don't have pets. I had a German Shepherd 15 years ago. When he died, I cried like a baby. So I just don't do it anymore." Yeah, I don't know. right now, I don't see one in my near future. That's for sure. So, anyway, let's see. Da, 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 da. Thank you again, guys. I'm still seeing some comments from you guys. I appreciate it very much from everybody. Steve asked, how's the Ultrex? Ultrex is great. I love the Ultrex. It's absolutely a gym or just a great thing to have, great tool, and I love it to death. So, thank you for the question. And to answer your question, I love it. Let's see. Steve said, blubber on, it's good for you. Yeah, I think so sometimes too, buddy. Prayers. Thank you very much, Ashley. I appreciate it. He said, I usually have mine with me fishing if you need to get some pets in. I appreciate it, Heath. I appreciate that very much. He was a good one. He loved to go fishing. He'd run around that boat like no other. So I appreciate you very much. I appreciate all y'all very much. All right, so let's talk about one other thing. I got a box. We're going to open this box up. It is a little tool that if you have an Ultrex, you should probably have. We are going to open this up right here live because it came in today, and I figured, well, let's open it up on the live tonight after I get done blubbering. I wasn't sure when I was going to do that, guys, but I felt like at that moment I was probably better off to handle it than any other. So that's when we did it. All right. So if you have an Ultrex, you need to get some of this bubble wrap. Just kidding. More bubble wrap. This little bitty thing, this big old box. All right. So, not sponsored by these people. Bought it just like you guys would. But I'm telling you right now, if you have, and not just an Ultrex, okay? This is not just for an Ultrex. Let me go back. If you have any trolling motor that stows and deploys with a cable and a handle, this thing right here is the cat's meow for your trolling motor. So if you guys haven't ever seen this G-Force handle from TH Marine, okay, TH Marine G-Force handle, it is awesome, all right? So this handle replaces your factory handle. So the handle on an Ultrex is kind of small, to be honest. I mean, I have little hands, and it really doesn't even fit very well in my hand because it's small. I mean, it really is. It's just little. It's only about yay long. I mean, it's not even as wide as this pen. I mean, it's probably only about that wide. Okay, maybe half to 3/4 of that pen, and it's not oddly shaped. It's shaped okay, but it's not very thick, and it's just kind of, I don't know. It wears my hand out picking it up and down, and I move a lot. So to have something like this, we're going to open it up and show you guys this actual handle because I know you couldn't see it very well in the screen. So let's see what all they give you here. So they give you a new cable, okay? They give you this new red cable, and this cable is actually a little thicker than the one on your Ultrex currently. So it's a little larger diameter cable than the one that's actually comes factory on the Ultrex. So it's a little bit more durable, all right, because the cable's a little bigger. And then you get of course, all the hardware, all right, all the hardware to mount this thing, which you can read the instructions on how to do when you get yours, if you get one. But I want you to look at this handle, guys. So this handle right here is very comfortable to the hand. It gives you a good place to get your hand in there and grip your trolling motor. And yes, these trolling motors, well, Ultrexes, have a lift assist, so they do come up fairly easy. But for somebody like me, who's a little short dude, who really has to lift this thing way up, I have to lift this thing way up here like this to try to get my trolling motor over because I'm short. This handle really is nice, and it really does make it very comfortable picking your trolling motor up and down out of the floor. And it's a little larger, a little more durable, just an all-around good handle for your trolling motor. So I picked one up. The reason that I picked one up is because my fishing partner actually has this exact handle on his boat, and I've always used it, and I never realized how much I liked it until I got my Ultrex and started using the little one that they put on their cable. Okay, and then I thought, you know what? I gotta have one of those handles because that handle's a heck of a lot easier picking that motor up and down. A heck of a lot easier. So the cable goes through the end. Obviously, there's a little hole that you guys can see here. So that cable will actually come up. I'll show you. So this cable actually comes up through the bottom like so. Comes up through here, comes up that hole. You take this little, let me see, where's it at? You take that little stop right there. It's got a screw hole in it. You put it on the cable and you screw it down tight, and then this gets pulled back down in here, and there's a little rubber grommet that closes that hole so it makes it flush. And then there you go. You got your handle. So very good design, very easy on the hand, and very easy to pick your trolling motor up and down. Again, that is and I bought this one just like you guys did. Actually, you saw where I bought it from. I bought mine from Academy because it was the cheapest. I Googled it and it came up from Academy. It was cheapest at Academy, and I picked one up. So there you go. But again, that is the G-Force handle from TH Marine, and you can get that from TH Marine also, but I found that it was a little more expensive on TH Marine's website. So I went the cheap route because I'm a cheap butt, right? I've told you guys that before. I'm cheap. I like cheap. So great handle, great product. Really, really happy to have it, and I'm going to put it to use. I'm going to get it on the boat probably this week. So I'm glad that came in today. Where were we? Slab Buster says, I have the G-Force, best thing ever, love it, had it 3 years, zero problems. I'd go through a rope every 6 months. Yep, absolutely. So the Ultrex does come with a steel cable factory or it comes from the factory with a steel cable. But this one is a little bit heavier duty, and I'll actually probably shorten this up again because the cable that comes on that trolling motor is extremely long. And with a 60-inch trolling motor, which I have on my boat, my Deep V has to have a 60-inch trolling motor. There's an extremely long travel for that trolling motor. So I'm going to shorten that cable up quite a bit when I put it on there. William says, I got one of them on my snow shovel. That's funny, William. I'm assuming it's not that exact handle on your snow shovel, but it's probably something similar. Call me Camo, gave me a bro hug. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. I think I'm done blubbering at this point. So not going to do that anymore. Sorry, guys. That is extremely out of character for me. My wife actually has told me before she didn't think I had a heart. Now she thinks I do. So that's it. Out of character for me. But hey, we're good, right? Everybody's like, I'm not watching him anymore. He's a disaster. All right, Chad Hillard. Off subject, but how's the house plans coming? So the house plans are coming along good. We have got some signatures, and we're almost there. We're almost there. We need one more permit, and then we're good to go. So if we can get the last permit, then we will start digging, and we'll be rocking and rolling. And as soon as we get that permit and start digging, I will have some video for you guys to see the progress on how that goes. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. We'll talk about that. But it's almost there. We're almost there for sure. Slabbuster said, yeah, I shortened mine about 10 inches. Yeah, I'm going to shorten mine too. It's long. Golly, it's long. Ashley says, the last couple videos I've seen you using spot lock in the new Ultrex, you becoming a spot locker now. Lots of laughs. I was always a spot locker. I spot lock when I'm kind of on the in-between, right? So I like to move around the brush pile, but if the wind doesn't allow me to do that, if the wind's got me all jacked up or the current has got me all jacked up, then yeah, I'm a spot locker. I do spot lock when the wind's too strong to move around or the current's too strong to move around. Mike, thank you very much for the super chat, Mike. I appreciate you very much. He says, how do you sneak up on those roaming crappie in the wind without spooking them? Always, 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 Mike, come from downwind, okay? If you try to come from upwind, you're just going to have issues. You've got to go into the wind, all right? So your boat has got to be pointed into the wind, and you've got to approach them from the downwind side. You've got to turn that live scope out to 50, even 60 feet. When you see that fish, you immediately get off the trolling motor, let your boat, hopefully your boat won't be going so fast that you get too close to the fish and he runs. You've got to kind of, it's touchy-feely for sure. You've got to move up on that fish very, very slowly in order not to spook him off. And there's a science to it. I hadn't figured that one out yet, but there's a science to it, I'm sure. But no, you got to come up on him from downwind, get off the trolling motor when you see him, let your boat coast to a stop. And then when your boat coasts to a stop, if you're at 30 feet, cast to him. If you're at 40 feet or 50 feet and you need to get a little closer, then you can bump your trolling motor, and ease up to that fish. But you really have got to be cognizant of where he's at, how fast you're moving, and stay off that trolling motor as much as you can to get up on that fish. Okay? And thank you again for the super chat. I appreciate it. Tyler, Matt, Saturday was my first tournament I've ever fished. It was fun. I got to learn to move when you're on a pile of small fish. Lots of laughs. Yeah, you can't get stuck on small fish, Tyler. Small fish are absolutely great when you're out there having fun. You're just going to catch fish. But if you're in a tournament, you got to make yourself move. It's move, move, move. Go find bigger fish. Go find active fish. You can't catch big ones if you're on a group of small ones. So, exactly right. Just keep moving and keep looking for those larger fish. All right. Sorry, guys. I was looking at some comments. So let's talk real quick about the ACC tournament. Have you guys, has anybody on here decided they're fishing the ACC tournament? If so, show of hands. No, I'm just kidding. Y'all can't show a hand. Leave me a comment and let me know if you're planning on fishing the ACC tournament that's happening April the 10th. It is going to be a big fish tournament. You can weigh, each team that enters can weigh one fish per hour. Each hour there will be a cash payout for the largest fish caught every hour. And then the largest fish of the day will also receive a cash payout if you're using an ACC crappie stick. So if you guys, especially the guys that are fishing with an ACC crappie stick, you guys have got to seriously consider fishing in this event. There's no go catch the 7 biggest fish, bring them in, weigh them, and hope you win the tournament. It's literally strategy, guys. I mean, and you're not fishing, look at it this way, you're not fishing against the entire field every hour because Watts Bar Lake is huge, and there's only one way in sight. So these people that go out, or these anglers, excuse me, not people, but anglers, these anglers that go out and they fish, they are going to have to spend some time going to where they're going to fish and coming back from where they're going to fish. Not to mention they got to go catch a fish that's worth bringing back and weighing. So if you go out there and you bring one back to weigh, you may weigh in two of the 8 hours. You may weigh in 6 of the 8 hours. You may weigh in 8 of the 8 hours. Just all depends on where you fish. So keep in mind, you're not going to be fishing against the entire field every hour. You're only going to be fishing against the guys that can make it back that hour. So, the first hour of the tournament, there may not be anybody weigh in. You may weigh a 3/4 pound fish and win it. Who knows? It's all strategy and what you're going to do, where you're going to fish. It's just going to be a really, really fun event. And again, that is April 10th, Tom Fuller Memorial Park on Watts Bar Lake. ACC Crappie Sticks Tournament presented by Crappie Cove. So ACC and Crappie Cove have partnered up on this one, and they are doing it big. They're doing it right. It's going to be a very fun tournament. If you don't like tournament fishing, you've got to fish in this one because you will like it. There's no stage, no getting up and weighing in front of a crowd. There's none of that. All you have to do is go fun fish for a day. It's basically like entering a blind draw tournament. You go in there and you pay your entry fee. You go fish for fun for the day. And if you catch a fish that you think, hey, that one could win some money, that's almost 3 pound fish, or that's almost a 2 pound fish. You take it in there, you walk up there, you say, hey, we want to weigh this one. Okay, put it in there. Oh, okay, it's 222. Go back fishing. Okay, see you later. And then at the end of the hour, they put a post on Facebook and say, congratulations, so-and-so, you won. And then you show up at the end of the day, you show up back to the weigh-in site where you launch and weigh your fish. You show up back there, and they give you your check at the end of the day and tell you congratulations. I mean, come on. That's pretty easy. So it's really neat. It's going to be a really, really fun event, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll be there. Chris will be there. Blake will be there. Andy will be there. There'll be Keith Aker will be there from down Louisiana. I think Flop and Crappie may come down. There's going to be a lot of people there, and it's going to be a really cool event. So you guys won't want to miss that. If you're coming up and you need a place to stay, there is a Holiday Inn Express in Rockwood that is right up the road from the ramp. That'd be a good place to check. You can give them a call. They've got rooms available. So it'll be really, really fun, okay? Jimmy Pratt says water temps are above 62 today. Man. Well, if they're above 62, then that means the blackfish, the males for sure, are on the bed. And the whitefish, the males, are really close, if not already on the bed. So females, probably not so much. Probably not quite yet. But they're probably hitting that staging area. They're probably hitting that brush and staging areas pretty hard right now. Tyler Key says he's fishing it. D. Carr says, I'd love to, but I'll be in South Carolina. Boo. Boo. South Carolina can't have you that week. You got to come to Tennessee. Jimmy says he's registered. Larry says he's registered. All right, Mr. Larry. That is awesome. Fuller boat ramp. Tom Fuller Memorial Park boat ramp is a really nice ramp. Yeah, it is. It is a really nice ramp. So I'm looking forward to that. Larry says, I think the pros should have a handicap. Well, really, they do, Larry, because it's one fish per hour. And the handicap is you got to run to your spots and you got to run back. I mean, there's and you got to catch that fish. And here's the next thing, Larry, is for a boat that's out there that says, oh man, that's a what? That's a 187. Should we take that to the scales and weigh that, or should we not? That one gonna win it? I don't know. And they may take that 187 in there and weigh it, and it not win that hour, and then you got to go back out and do it again. You got to go catch another fish. But the next hour, it may only take a 150 to win. Well, they just weighed a 187. You see what I'm saying? The hour before. So it starts over every hour. Every hour is new. It does not carry over. Every hour is a new hour. Okay? It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm telling you. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be new. It's going to be a lot of fun. Blake says Comfort Inn as well. So Comfort Inn as well, guys, if you're looking for a place to stay. Misty says she'll be there. Dakota Garrison says, I'm fishing it. Come on, Dakota. Let's go. Let's go. It's going to be fun. Jimmy says, aren't they feeding us Friday night? Yes, there will be a barbecue dinner Friday night for everybody that has entered the tournament. If you want barbecue dinner, we will be serving barbecue dinner Friday night. And I believe that dinner will happen as well at Tom Fuller Memorial Park. There was a venue that we had that was an indoor venue, but I do not know that we'll be having that there. It'll probably be at Tom Fuller as well. D. Carr said, Navy kids take precedent. Visit while you can. I'll give you that one. Yep. I'll give you that one for sure. I know what a handicap is, guys. Come on. I know what a handicap is. I ain't that stupid. Chuck Price is late for the show. We'll have to watch the replay, but I'm signed up for the tourney. Awesome, Chuck. That's great. Well, we will see you there, my friend. Dakota says, do you know how many are registered so far? No, I do not. I don't know that anybody knows. There are several registered already. I can say that. I do know that there has been a lot of registration coming in, but it's like every other tournament. Everybody will kind of wait till that last week to see if they're catching fish or not catching fish. They'll see what the weather's doing and what the weather's not doing. Da, 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 da. It'll kind of be one of those things where you'll get a ton of people that'll register, especially if it's going to be good weather. If there's going to be good weather, there will be an absolute ton of people register the last week. So, it will be a good event. It'll be fun. I think we still got about 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks out from the tournament. So we'll see. Chris Carter says, where did you guys launch from last Saturday? Last Saturday, the tournament was out of Kingston City Park. A lot of guys did not launch there. We actually left from Kingston City Park, but, we allow trailering at our tournament. So once you're checked in and we have the meeting, you're allowed to trailer, and you can trailer to another ramp. So guys trailered all over the place. Some went to the river, some went to Caney Creek. They trailered to several different ramps. But the tournament was held out of Kingston City Park. Chuck Price says, where can I get a 6-foot crappie stick? Crappie Cove stocks ACC rods. I do not know if they have any 6-footers in right now. That would be a look on the website or call Crappie Cove to Misty and ask her if she has any 6-footers, Chuck. If she does, she'd be happy to hook you up. Chris Carter says we showed up there and no one was there at 11:30. Yeah, that's because most everybody trailered, Chris, to another ramp. But they all came back there at 3:30, well, 4-ish. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this evening, I believe. We've been on for about an hour and 18 minutes. I'll give everybody another minute. If you guys have any last-minute questions, you want to talk about anything else, we will talk about that for another minute. But Larry said he was there at 3:45 and nobody. You were at Kingston City Park, Larry? There's 2 parking lots at Kingston City Park, actually 3. We were down actually around the boat ramp is where we set up because there was a lot of people in the parking lot. There was a car show up there, which kind of messed us up. So they had a big car show up there, and we were kind of hidden in the sea of cars. William C says, I'm pulling the trigger on buying a ACC. I like jigging. What size would you recommend? If you like to vertical jig, William, what length rod do you typically use? Put me another comment in there and tell me what rod you typically use, William. Blake says, good night. Hope to see everyone on the 10th. See if William's comment comes through and I'll answer your question. But while I'm waiting on that, guys, I appreciate all the good wishes. I apologize again for the turn in events this evening. 903 Fishing is just checking in. Hope all is well with the Wired fam. Appreciate you, 903. Dakota says he just recently bought an 8-foot ACC crappie stick, and it's very comfortable. William, I'm not seeing. Well, William, I'll give you a call because I need to give you a call anyway. So I'll give you a call. We'll talk about it. But I appreciate you guys allowing me to talk about my week. And I know it was kind of a turn on the other side of things for our normal Wednesday night lives. But I appreciate y'all letting me get that off my chest. It's been on my mind pretty heavy the last couple of days. So it's never easy, and I appreciate everybody. But we will be back in rare form next week for sure. Watch out for the video coming this week. And next week, you guys have asked me to go over some more side imaging and down imaging photos. And next week, we are going to go over side imaging and down imaging photos. So we're going to break down side imaging photos, break down imaging photos, and I'm going to show you guys how I go about doing that and what I'm seeing, how I take a side image shot or down image shot and break that down to seeing fish, bait, structure, so on and so forth on my side imaging and down imaging. Okay, guys, everybody cool with that? Good. All right. So again, I appreciate y'all for being part of the Wired fam. Thank y'all so much for all the super chats that were given this evening. I appreciate those. They're a blessing to me, and we will see you guys next week. As always, guys, God bless, and we'll see you later.